I just have one question. So, if you know that you have as a dude, if you know you have no intentions on really trying to be with a woman, like, make her your girl or something serious or what have you, and the only thing that you want to do is smash. My question is, if it's going to be an exchange, then why deal with chicks or even mess with girls creating extra body counts or breaking hearts or doing all of those things that you do to get it, instead of just going to women that are going to give it up, like prostitute, like that's their business, that's their exchange. And it seems like in this environment, especially now, that everything is about an exchange. So why go after just the regular girls as opposed to just going to somebody that made it their business?
Most
Just
men
curious.
do. Most men do that. And most men will actually go on
Go to
Craigslist or
prostitutes.
whatever uh sex website that they have prostitutes on. Also, let me address Andre Cable in the comments. Just because you don't have a standard don't mean that all men don't have a standard. Let's just put that out there. But to go back to your point, uh all men, I don't think that all men are out there just being predatory on women and taking advantage of them. You know what I'm saying? That I don't think that that's the case across the board.
Well,
It
what do you call it? I don't know what you would call it, and I don't mean uh predatory in terms
And
of
let me
like trying to
and
go
what
after young women, but predatory in the nature of men wanting to clap them cheeks. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So my point is instead of playing the game and playing around with all of these women that you have no intentions for, why not just go to the women who are already getting paid to do that?
But
let me
that's
answer this real
that's
fast
my
because I want
point.
to go ahead and get this
Most
last.
men are doing that.
Give me a
It's
second. Give me a
go
second.
ahead.
Let me add
I
this.
didn't.
This goes. It goes into another. Because my God, the guy who I had the conversation with said, he said, and for your men, they don't take care of their responsibility. They leave their families.
Wait, what?
Mm.
Remember, I
Oh, the
told you
guy
the
that you went out
conversation,
with
the
about the
perception.
stereotypes.
Oh, you thought he only perceived women? No, he had something to say about the men too.
Well, no, I missed it. Say it again.
He said that for them, as for for the guys, he said we don't think that you guys take care of your responsibilities, and they're quick to leave their families.
What type of man are we talking about?
No, I'm just telling you what the perception is.
The perception of you of who?
Remember, I told you I had a that's how
Black
we started
men,
the whole
not the
conversation.
guy she was speaking to.
Right.
What are you
So the perception of black men is that black men don't take care of their families.
That is a wide perception. It
yeah.
has been for
Mm.
several decades.
Because
And
we
That
don't
so,
control the image.
mhm.
that's fair. That's fair. Now I would say the men that I know that I'm surrounded around,
We're not
and
Oh,
talking
man,
about
that's
be it
that though.
we're not talking about that. Though. Yeah,
We're
the
talking
men I
about
know,
the perception
I
of the
only came
majority
from
of black
black
men
men.
my
or
my
black.
point is is that if men did such, then that wouldn't be the majority. You know what I'm saying? If men stepped up and took care of their families and stayed with their baby mamas, or didn't uh or didn't leave their wives, or whatever the case may be, then of course that wouldn't be the perception. Now, does that happen on a wide scale? That's arguable. You know what I'm saying? Does it happen every day? Maybe. But there's a wide group, I believe, of men that do take care of their homes, their households, the same way that y'all saying that women don't put out and all that other stuff. It's the same exact thing. There's
This, yeah, you grew up in the city, right?
I grew up in the Heights.
Chicago Heights. That might be different. Did most of your friends in the community have their father there in the home
No,
with? Yeah, mine either. So I think it's a fair
no,
thing.
I'm not saying
I
that
think we
that's
moving forward. I think that especially like our generation, we took that criticism and we tried to adjust, and we are like making active efforts to try
that's
and rewrite the narrative.
that's all that we
Yeah,
can do.
So
but
let me ask you a question. Why don't you think so when you think of family, so when I think of family, right, I think of head of household. I know Chicago is married, right? I remember when you got married. I know Marcus is married. I don't know if you're married, Biz.
I'm
Um,
engaged.
huh?
I'm engaged.
Engaged. So you're taking the step to be married, and AP is married. So we have a panel full of married people, but that is not necessarily the majority, right? And
Right.
so when I dug a little deeper in this conversation, because we ended up going a little deeper into it, the conversation, and I get, and this is the reason I brought this up, because it's going to kind of go in with Mistaken's point, right? I think that we play a lot. I think everybody plays, but our length of playing is just exceeding, right? And when I say playing in the market, okay,
What do you mean by that?
like
I know what she's saying. So I would agree, but I think if I just would add an extra layer to that, I think
mm-hmm.
one of the other things is there's a limitation financially that a lot of us, because so as a man, you kind of want to be in a financially, decent place when you start a family. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're not there, that could be one of the things that prolong it. I wouldn't
But
necessarily
you
say
should be playing. So that's even more reason not to play. You should be focused, because playing gets you in
should be,
trouble. It's just noise
should be, but
Now, now, when you say playing, are you saying like just out trying to?
for the streets.
Right.
For the
because
streets.
look, that got something to do. So you know how you was talking about why? Because it's situations where men might want to date somebody serious and be like, you know what, I can't afford what this needs to progress into.
Mm-hmm.
Like what I could tell she want to progress to. That don't mean he didn't want to be with her. He might not have been able to afford, moving forward with that. I don't know to what number though. I couldn't give a realistic number.
And the
But
reason why that's important, because I think that there are communities that are probably broker than we are, right, or are in the same situation
mhm.
as us.
Hell yeah.
But
I
that
think
doesn't mean
the
to be
the men's argument is our women want more than maybe those women would be willing to settle for.
so one thing about I've never, it's very rare, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, that even in your 20s you haven't met a woman that who's serious about you, who went crazy for you, right? Who was
You said
there.
we haven't?
I said, I'm asking, I said, is it not very rare that you guys probably, I think it's pretty safe to say that most men who have something going for themselves had a woman who was in, it's not just 20-year-olds out here broke who ain't got a woman, right? Most have experienced a woman, even in their 20s, who was like, I love him, I'm gonna ride for him, So we can't argue that they're not getting the opportunity, because most men have had that woman.
So and most men I know have. Now I don't know if that's part of that bubble though, because
Okay, because you're in the bubble. So anybody, I guess everybody in here is a part of the bubble. But
Wait,
would you
wait,
not
wait. So
agree?
wait. So go deeper into that because I'm kind of confused on what you.
she
Okay,
asking is that most of us had a woman that was really ride or die for us at one point in our life, particularly in the 20s. Most men that you know, did they, or most men, do you think they've had that type of a woman?
Absolutely.
so because Marcus's argument was, well, the woman may not want to be with him because of his situation. So my argument was, I don't think that that's true. I think that there was a woman probably in your life, but you may have said, I'm not ready. You said, I'm not ready, right?
That's
So
that's the same argument.
so what I'm saying to you is, in our community, what other communities, so it goes back to the argument. We prolong the process, and when you prolong the process, you have more mistakes in between. Saying I don't want to be married in my early mid-20s is saying that this doesn't mean I'm not gonna stop having sex. It gives more oopsie time. Like, oops, she got pregnant. Oops, I can't focus on my purpose because I'm too busy. Jessica just slashed my tires outside because I'm playing with her heart. You know what I'm saying? It knocks you off of your purpose. So it's actually fighting against you, right? And for whatever reason, we out here playing and we don't even understand how they first to the game. It takes a lot of effort. Effort you can be putting somewhere else. Okay, if people put that game that they put playing on people, if they put that in themselves and making themselves better, we will be so powerful. If people, if we can think about our future and wealth the way we think about vagina, man, unstoppable would we not be? You understand?
I agree. I agree with what you're saying 100%. But let's be realistic. When you're in college, when you're in your 19, 20, 21,
I'm
you
not talking about 19, 20, 21. I'm talking about 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Shall I keep going on? Our marriage rate is 48%.
If a person is still doing that at 28, then of course that just simply shows the nature of their own personality. I think that with men and women, we mature over time with experiences. I know that the stats say that men mature much later than women. Um, and there's a lot of different factors that play a part into that. But I think that that's all a part of um, that person's experience, their own journey, so on and so forth. If if I would stand firm on believing that I would stand firm in believing that we somewhat, in a sense, have an idea of if the person that we're investing time into, if they are actually worth investing that time into. You know, and I think that we get an idea of that early on. Now, of course, we may make the decision to ignore that, but at the same time, I think that we still have some type of intuition of it. Um, so